Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how to make that good old thumbnail using Photoshop. It's not going to be too complicated, it's not going to be too crazy. I'm going to make sure it's as easy to follow as possible. So let's get down to it. So this thumbnail here is something that I made last night from my previous video real quick. Yeah, you just see how the text is always bold. Most thumbnails that you see that are successful, the text is always bold. You always want to catch the reader's attention, always. So yeah, I'm using Photoshop 2015, but if you have the latest version, don't worry, this all applies to that. So let's get down to it. File, new. I always like to name my stuff before I open it. So let's say thumbnail demo. Always make sure it's in pixels. So a YouTube thumbnail is 1280 by 720. Resolution is your quality, so keep that at 300. Your color mode, you don't have to worry too much about that. Let's say you were printing this, you would press CMYK, but this is YouTube, so keep it at RGB. So okay, boom. Now, this over here is your layers panel. This is your character panel. This is where all your fonts is. So boom, that's where all your fonts are at. What I strongly recommend is to go to View, go to Rulers. You always want your rulers there because you always want your text to be aligned. You want everything to be perfect. Now you can actually drag. You can drag things down to make sure things are, you can zoom in. To zoom in is Command plus, and to zoom out is Command minus. So for now, go back. This is your selection tool. Remember that, guys. If you really don't know about Photoshop. Now, disclaimer: I'm not a super pro at Photoshop. I'm in my last semester in school for it, but there's always different ways of doing things. Everybody uses Photoshop differently. There's different techniques, always different kind of steps you can take to things. But I'm going to be showing you, kind of a good way to make a nice thumbnail. So yeah. Now let's say, hypothetically speaking, your next video is, I don't know, top 10 horror films, right? Now, what I would do, let's say, I don't know, you want to catch the reader's attention. Not clickbait, we're not doing that, but I don't know, It Clown, let's say, right? Boom, go to images. Always go to size large because you want it to be the best quality. So let's see. I don't know. Let's try this one. Okay, I'm gonna copy that. To paste an image is Command V, as in Victor. Boom, right there, fit perfectly. Now that's another layer. You see, the background was a layer. Now this is a layer. If you wanted to not delete it, but just temporarily not see it, you click this eyeball. It's still there. Boom, boom. Now this here, if you're wondering, is your history tab. All the stuff that I've done, it'll show it. You can delete it, which is pretty cool to have. You don't have to have that on, but yeah. Now let's say, honestly, guys, the easiest way to cut things out, like real 1, 2, 3, to silhouette something. Let's say you want to just have him and you don't want the background. Just go over here, hold it down, quick selection tool. This is like magic, guys. So you kind of just drag it. Photoshop already knows. If it's a crappy image, it won't be this, this perfect. But this is a pretty decent image. Now let's say to deselect something, you hold down Option. I'm using a Mac, by the way. Hold down Option, and you do that. Now let's say you selected this by mistake. Like, oh no, I don't want that. Just hold down Option. Just go over it. See? To increase the size of this, under the plus sign there are 2 brackets. The one on the right makes it bigger, the one on the left makes it smaller. Now remember, to deselect things, hold down Option. Okay, boom. So let's say I just want that. You press Command C and then Command V to paste it. See, now you got another layer. Now what I would do, I would just get rid of this, or you can completely delete it if you want. See, but you see how it's not very clean. You know what I mean? Like, that's why professionals don't really use this. I'm not saying I'm a professional, but it's not really the best thing to use if you want to make a really nice looking, like a silhouette of something. Most people would use the pen tool, but that's a little too advanced for right now. So don't worry about that. But like, I would say an intermediate kind of tool, which is very good, it's a little more accurate, is this tool right here. Hold down, magnetic lasso tool. Now let's start all over. So remember, to undo things is Command Z. But the thing about Photoshop, you can't do more than one undo unless you hold down Command Option Z. So you can go back a lot. So boom. Let's go back. Let's copy that image again. Oh, okay. So I have to copy this. Boom. Paste it. Now you just click here and you just drag it down. Every time I go to an edge, I click it. Now let's say, I don't know, you go like this, like, oh no, I didn't want that. Just press delete. These are the anchor points. The little squares, those are anchor points. So you just delete it. Okay. You don't have to click at the edges, but that's, you know, if you want the most accurate, you know, the cleanest thing you can get, I recommend that. Because you don't want Photoshop to work for you. You want it to, you know, you want to use the tool so that you want it to look the way you want it to look. Oh, like you see how it's doing that? You don't want that. So delete. So now since it's gonna keep doing that, so just keep selecting it before it goes crazy. So you want it to be a straight line. Oh, it's a little like that. Accurate. You don't want what you don't want in the cutout, you know? You don't want the background in there. Okay, and then you want to go, you know, click the end to close, and then Command C, then Command V. Let's see the difference. You see the difference? It's not as mushy on the edges. You're still gonna have to do some you know, some eraser work, but it's definitely not as, you know, nasty on the edges. Still, if you want, you can, you know, clean it up a bit. But yeah, I mean, to each his own. Let's say you want to make this bigger or smaller. You press Command T. See, now you got control to, you know, move it around. But you don't want it to be like this. If you want to keep the aspect ratio of it, just hold down Shift. And it's, you know, it's perfect. You see that? So, yeah. So let's say, okay, let's say you want it like that, right? Let's say you want them right here. And you want the text to be right here, nice and bold. You know, that's always a good thumbnail. So I would go to Google, maybe have like a grunge background, gray. Let me see. We're using this one. No, we're using this one. This one's perfect because it's like dark. Okay, boom. There you go. Now, let's say you wanted to make him, let's say, lighter or darker. You can press Command L. And now you're on the levels. Now let's make them brighter as that. Let's make them darker as that way. But this looks fine. Now let's say you want nice bold font. Okay, what I strongly recommend to have each text break different text boxes. You'll see what I mean. So top 10. So this I would have, you know, by itself. Boom, for now. Top 10. But actually, let's change the font to something bold. So, I don't know. Let's see, bold font. You can try Futura. Futura Bold is always a good font. So this right here is their size. You can go there. Top 10. Or if you don't want to do it like that, you can honestly just press Command T. And you can drag it like that, holding Shift. It's very quicker. It's a lot quicker. So boom, top 10, enter. Now, you don't have to select a new, you don't have to make a new text box. You can just go to option, alt option. I don't know, I just call it option. And just drag it down. It creates another one. Boom. So then you can go over that. Top 10 horror. See, I like to have it. You see this, here you would have to go like this. Because let's say it's like that, right? And you press Command T on it, it'll just be this. So you don't want that. No. Go back to it and make it smaller so that it's in the box. Remember, to select all is Command A. Horror. Command A. So boom. Top 10 horror. Remember, options down. Films. Command T. Boom. Now see, this is where the rulers come in handy. You always want to make sure they're aligned. This is where my school comes in. My graphic design professors always tell me you want your text to be perfect, perfectly aligned. Okay, boom. I would recommend zooming in with Command plus to see the O's a little there, like that. You know, you want it to be good, man. You want it to look perfect. A lot of YouTubers like to do the stroke around things, and that does make it pop. So let's try that. Go to Effects. Remember, the layer has to be selected. Effects. Go to Outer Glow. Boom. So make sure the opacity is all the way up. And yeah, so now it's popping. Now it's popping. Click the top 10. Now, if you don't have to do this on each one. To do it all at the same time, you go to the top one, hold down Shift, and go to where the ones you want to have as a group. To group them is Command G. Boom. Now they're in one group. Now you don't have to do the effects on all each one. Now you go to Effects, Outer Glow. Boom. Now we talking. See, now we talking. You can you just play around with it. It's all preference. You can go to stroke. That's a little crazy. But you can change the color of it. You can have freaking yellow if you want. There's a difference. Outer Glow is, I don't usually use Outer Glow on text. That's more for like images. So I recommend just using stroke so that you can change the color of the outside of it. Shit, if you wanted it to be the same color as the balloon, you see this little thing? See, once you go to stroke and you go to color, this has like a little, I don't know what you call that, eyedropper tool, I believe. So you can click it. So now it's the same color as wherever you selected the stroke, which is pretty cool. If you don't want black as that, just go to, again, you can go to color overlay. Where is it? Color overlay. Let's say you want it to be freaking, I don't know, yellow. Boom. Top 10 horror films. Change the stroke color. It's all a matter of preference. Boom, boom, boom. Make sure the space from here to here is the same from here to here. That's just, I might be nitpicking, but I always got to make sure it's perfect, man. And I forgot to mention, let's say you want to like take something out of a group. Let's say you don't want it in a group anymore. Go to, where the layer is and just take it out of it. Just do each one, take them out of there. So boom, now there's no group anymore. You can kind of just take the eye out, and now they're their own thing now. If you want, you could even do bevel and emboss if you want to make it look 3D or something. I mean, it's not really 3D. That's a whole nother topic, but it gives it some type of dimension. Play around with it. A gradient is always cool too. I kind of like to have a nice, cool little underline on the bottom. So let's say you want to add a new layer. You go down here, boom, so now you got a new layer. But make sure you put it behind, whatever the text is, just put it behind it or under it. So what I like to do is I hold down on this, so make sure it's the brush tool. They have all different kinds of cool brushes, but I like this one right here. Remember, to increase the size of something is under the plus sign, is like a right bracket, and then the one to the left decreases it. So let's say for this instance, something that pops out. Something opposite of red, so I'll do like a yellow. Let's see how that looks. Something like that is cool. It grabs the reader's attention. That's what you always want. So yeah, and if you wanted to bring it over here, put it over there. If you wanted even to make it even bigger, remember Command T. Could even make it that big. Enter. Boom. Top 10 horror films. This will definitely grab the reader's attention. Now when you're done, you go to File, Save As. So wherever you want to save it as, you're up the desktop, thumbnail demo. If you want to make sure you want to edit it another day or after this, you always save it as a Photoshop file so that you can go back in and edit it again. Save. Now if you just, if you want to upload it as your custom thumbnail, you go to File, Save As, JPEG. Always use JPEG. I just think this is a very simple way, make a nice thumbnail. So yeah, Thanks for watching. Share, like, subscribe. See you guys later.